All right. Good afternoon. It's Tuesday, May 12th. You can see I'm trying really hard to get a split screen here on the fly. I've got Chief Graziano, Scranton Police Chief, with me today, and we are really hoping to clarify what things look like right now. It's not hard to put together. We're still in red phase, and we're still in the red phase. The governor still has Lackawanna County and many other dozens of counties in red phase because this disease is still here. This virus is still here. The virus is still it's still killing people. That's the bottom line. It's really, I know this is a lot to endure. I think endurance is something that we've hit that phase. We knew it was going to be a marathon, not a sprint, when Governor Wolf announced the June 4th date last Friday night. I know that really hit us hard, but he's doing it for a reason. Governor Wolf and Secretary Levine have been working very hard. They're working with hospitals and health experts. They're not putting this extension on the stay-at-home order just because they think it is fun. It's not fun for anybody. It's not fun for them. Not fun for us. But it really matters that we continue to do what we're doing. Continue to do the good work we've been doing. Scranton has really come together and worked hard. And I know that it's rough on the small businesses. I know it's rough on those of you who've lost a job or seen your hours cut. We continue to pump out resources for you on these town halls and on our media platforms. Also remember that there's a sheet of paper, physical paper, you can go pick up at the back of City Hall off of Mulberry and Dix Court, where you can get the resources in hand. If anyone on the phone who doesn't have the internet or knows somebody who could use that, those resources are there and available, and where we can talk through any of these things. You can also always call us at 348-4101 or email scranton311@scrantonpa.gov to ask questions and see where you can get resources. But having Chief Graziano here is important because he can speak to what it's like for them to enforce the governor's stay-at-home order. And he has generally good news about the success of it so far and how great the city has come together. All right, so Chief Graziano.
So good afternoon. Thanks, Mayor. We've this has been some tough times that everyone's been going through. We really feel for the citizens and the business owners and the individuals who, going through. We're all going through this together. But I would like to say that I'm extremely proud of the way the city is coming through this and the way the citizens have come together. It's from the police perspective. We haven't really seen this much unity since 9/11. And while this is really tough times that everyone's going through, and we hope we never have to go through this ever again, we want to make sure we do this right. We do it right the first time, so that we're not coming back here in the fall and having to start this all over again. And to go through this pain again. So we're really appreciative of the citizens that are cooperating. From the police perspective, we've had very little resistance to the governor's orders locally. We've taken the stance, as has many other police departments and the state police across the state, of education and information to the citizens. So not looking out here to go out and cite people for trying to make a living. We're trying to get people to cooperate so that for their overall greater good of our community and our state and overall our country. And I'm proud to say that that's been happening in the city. To date, we've only had to issue one citation very early on to a contractor that, after numerous warnings, just refused to cooperate. But overall, outside of that, there's been a great deal of cooperation among the citizens and the businesses, and hopefully the pain that everyone's feeling will ease up shortly, and we can get back to some sense of new normalcy.
Yeah, it's important to note that, like Chief Graziano said, that it's only one citation in this entire time. The police department has only had to issue one citation. That's really a tribute to Scranton and how much everybody has understood that this really is about public health. This isn't about trying to be punitive. This isn't about government overreach. This is about public health and protecting each other. And to his point, we don't want to do this once. The virus isn't listening to us. The virus isn't looking at our policies and procedures. It's not looking at our government or business balance sheets. The virus is here and it's killing people, unfortunately, mostly in our nursing homes. And we still have to go through this. So, Chief, I don't know if maybe you could talk a little bit about what we saw yesterday and help make sense of the counties that said they weren't going to comply with the governor's order. His response was, listen, then you could end up losing, business licenses, things like that. Could you explain a little bit for us, kind of make sense of what happened yesterday with the governor's press conference?
Well, I think it's understandably people are starting to, say when is enough and is enough. But as I said earlier, we've got to get through this and get through it right. If we don't, do this 100%, we're going to be back at it and it could be worse at some point. So I think it's important that we all do this together. And I think it's got to collectively be a group effort. It's got to be not just one county, but counties have to join together so that we're all on the same page, so that we're all being consistent. And we certainly, I'm sure, the governor and his staff doesn't want to hurt any more businesses. They don't want to hurt, individuals. No one wants to hurt anybody, but we've all in this together and we've got to get through it. And the only way to do that is to cooperate together. In a few more weeks, we may be in a better position to start opening up, and hopefully we will. But again, I don't think we're ever going to be back to normal. I think it's going to be a new normalcy that we're going to have, and it's got to be something that we work together through.
Right. Well, I remember when we were first going through all of this, and you said that you remembered when smoking was no longer allowed in bars in Scranton, and that some of the neighboring municipalities didn't follow suit at the same time, and it was a mess because you had these conflicting things just across the street. In some cases, you had conflicting ordinances. So, and that's why we've come together with the county. We've been working. You've been right there with me, working with the county throughout this entire crisis. But we've really formalized that with the task force, with the legislators, and with Lackawanna County. And the real important partnership on the ground there is you and Chief Lucas at the emergency management coordination piece, with all of the other police chiefs around the county. And with, I know you work with the state troopers all the time as well, to make sure that there's consistency. And while it's very frustrating to hear that we're probably going to be in red phase until June 4th, at least that gives us some certainty to work with, gives you some certainty to work with, gives your force some certainty that we need to keep doing what we're doing. And I've tried to be thinking about the positive things here, where it gives us more time to plan for that next phase. So we also wanted to keep talking. We had mentioned a little bit last week that we're working the city with Chief Graziano, Chief Lucas, Tom Oleski in code enforcement, and our whole team is working on temporary modifications to permits and licensing requirements, so that we can be opening up sidewalks in front of retail and food outlets, so that we can have more space. Those businesses can have more space to work with as they either phase or reopen as allowed now, or especially in yellow phase. So we're definitely working hard on what that looks like. We'll have to, of course, work with Chief Graziano, work with you, make sure that everything, maintains safety. Chief Lucas on the fire side, make sure that we're still operating safely. But we're working to eliminate some of those at least fees associated with those types of things. And also our OECD team is looking at potential funding that we could, not the city, but find for you out there. Is there funding for small businesses to purchase some of these things to enable social distancing, purchase that extra outdoor equipment, those extra racks for clothing, those extra shelves that are waterproof for your goods, or tables and chairs. Additionally, the sneeze guards and things like that at your retail location. We're trying to match up funds that are out there that you could apply for to help you purchase those types of things so that you're able to open in a safe manner. So we'll continue to be doing that, and we're looking also at some street closures, temporary street closures, so that we could have some fun this summer, even at a distance. Chief Graziano, I appreciate you being excited about that too, that we can, we have a whole city to work with, and this should be something that where we all come together with ideas and think about ways that we can have some fun this summer in a time it's going to be a time of difficulty. I mean, we're still going to be having to keep social distance for, I think, many months to come. Chief Graziano, do you have any parting thoughts as we head into mid-May and the next few weeks?
Well, I'm looking forward to be able to get back to the community meetings and networking with, in person at least, with the community leaders and the citizens, and weekly and monthly meetings that I would attend. So hopefully sometime this summer that can get back on track, so we can get, getting to work in the neighborhoods. And it's another quick note, something that just came up yesterday. The Scranton Police Department and Fraternal Order Police and a couple other businesses are coming together again to do another pasta dinner. Pasta and dinner this Sunday at 1:00 at the FOP building on Luzerne Street. So the last time I believe we gave out close to 1,000 meals, and we're looking to surpass that this Sunday, starting at 1:00. But something different also is we're also would be offering to deliver meals to individuals who can't get out for the takeout meal. So I have a number here, if you please, if I can give that out for.
Please, yeah.
All. So that's my office at 570-558-8304, 570-558-8304 for if someone listening or anyone that that would like a meal for Sunday, we'll get that delivered to them, and anyone else is welcome to drive by after 1 p.m. on Sunday to the FOP building at Railroad in Luzerne, and we'll be there until all the food is gone. That follows up something we did last week with a food giveaway that the officers and their families got together and donated quite a bit of dry goods and some canned goods to Friends of the Poor for individuals in need within the city. So we're trying to be part of, my old college days of Sir Robert Peel is the police are the community, the community are the police. We're part of your community, and we want to give back to where we can to people that need it more than we do. So we're appreciative of the citizens in Scranton, and we want to help where we can.
Thank you. Well, you and the Scranton Police, you guys come through for the community every day, and I know you guys have also been doing the birthday drive-bys to brighten the days of our kids who are missing their friends and their teachers. So thank you, Chief Graziano, for everything you're doing, and I sleep better at night under your leadership. So thank you.
Thanks, Mayor.
Okay, so small businesses, we are going to be sending out a survey today through Scranton tomorrow, and our OECD office will get that out to some through other means as well. And we'll post, I think we'll try to post the survey on Facebook as well. Survey about what would be most meaningful to you from a grant loan perspective. So as we're trying to ramp up, like I've been talking about, we're getting closer to being able to ramp up a loan fund, grant fund. It'll be a questionnaire, a very short one. What would be most helpful to you? A grant, a loan? What would you find helpful as we navigate this type of program? There's a lot of different models out there. I don't want to, and let me clarify. This would be the city helping out with a fund that would be run by a financial institution or a community financial institution. We won't be running it through the city. The city doesn't have the capacity to run a loan program itself, but we are really pushing to help get one set up that can help the small businesses. But we need to know what would be helpful for you. We don't want a situation where the only thing we offer would be too onerous for a business owner, for example. Don't want something that is too small that wouldn't help at all. We're trying to get that there so we can get those terms to be something that's helpful for our businesses. I know how difficult it is to have this have this order continue. It's just, it's unbelievable. I know as the business owners out there that are struggling, it's really hard. As we talked about on Friday, there is still PPP money available. As of last Thursday, it was 140 billion that was still there. If you or someone you know that is a business owner has not applied for the PPP is the payroll protection, but also you can also use it for rent and utilities. So if you're a business owner and you're struggling to pay rent, that PPP would enable you to cover that rent. So I know it's not as simple as that. I know it's a challenge to get that all structured. So if you need help applying for the PPP, you can talk with the NEPA Business Alliance. You can talk with our OECD. So you can give us a call. We'll connect you there. Or the Scranton Business Development Center at the University of Scranton, or the Greater Scranton Chamber of Commerce, of course. So there are people here that are ready to help you apply for those loans and the EIDL, the emergency, the emergency disaster loans. Those are also available. So there are options out there. So if you haven't, I know that you need help beyond that, but if you know somebody or you are somebody who hasn't taken advantage of those yet, they are still, to my knowledge, available. So please go to our website. You can see the help if you need business help, and we are definitely trying to think about not just the loan and grants, but how can we enable you through city services? How can we enable you to open safely, and maintain your business as we go into these next phases of COVID, as we live with COVID instead of fighting COVID? How do we start to live with COVID in the summer and into the fall? With that, like I said, with Chief Graziano, we're looking at code enforcement, being able to waive some requirements there to get you up and running and not make it financially difficult to expand those businesses out into the sidewalks, into the streets, and then collecting information about how you might be able to get those COVID-related costs paid for, reimbursed. So we're really trying to focus on all of those things for you, and we're fully aware every day that the small businesses in the community are the backbone of our community, and not just certainly our downtown, but not just our downtown. So any ideas you have for that, any ideas you have for closing down this street on the weekends, we're really excited to be putting together a program where we'd close down some streets downtown for the weekends during the summer, enabling what many of you have seen in other cities, enabling a kind of pedestrian area in the downtown where we could socially distance and also still be out and about and try to get out of our homes. So this is all something that we're trying to put together. We need your ideas. Send your ideas to the Scranton 311 at scrantonpa.gov, and we're taking those ideas and trying to do everything we can to get back to some sense of normalcy as soon as we go into the other phases. But like I said, and you all know, we're still in the red phase. We're still right in this. I think that, I don't know if Megan was able to put it, we had a graphic that we wanted to show you all. The deaths and the cases keep on a daily basis, they go up and down, but we have not seen a trend where they've just been going down. I wanted to get it right here I wanted to get it right here. I'm just reading literally from the paper because switching screens is really annoying. So, a county's caseload needs to be at 50 or fewer cases, for fewer new cases per 100,000 people over a period of 2 weeks. We are at more than 3 times that right now. So we are more than 3 times that threshold here in Lackawanna County that we would need to be to go into yellow phase. So I know that it's very frustrating, and more than frustrating, it's terrifying if you're a small business owner or the owner of or the operator of something. I know we've talked a lot about on these town halls about the social service aspect, the fact that social services that need to, mental health services that should be in person, that really for them to be effective need to be in person. It's not. This is this is terrible. It's really terrible. But so is the virus, and we are far from being able to go into the next phase. So I know it's confusing out there. It's confusing for me. My mom and I and my daughter are here at home. I'm working from home most of the time, and she's often catching the news in the other room. And when I walk in, between meetings, it's very confusing, because there are some places in the country that the cases have been on that downward swing for a long time. That's very different than the situation that we're in here in Lackawanna County. So we have to keep in perspective where we are, and understand that those deaths are still ticking up. People are losing loved ones as we speak, and this isn't the flu. It is very, very different, and that's why we're trying to be as creative and proactive as we can be to help us all get through this, and put together the thoughts from you, the community, of what we can do, and where your pain points are, what your needs are. So let me turn to kind of my usual what we've got going on. Oops. Okay. So Rite Aid is now, in terms of testing, so I don't have any announcements, but I'm hearing good things about more testing coming online very soon. So very, very hopeful on that. We saw last week that Rite Aid is now testing people with no symptoms. Unfortunately, that's in Plains Township and East Stroudsburg. Hopefully that can be online up here soon. The Mohegan Sun is still symptoms, and that's 1877 PA Health to get tested there. Geisinger, is doing a lot of testing. They're at 284-3657, or call your primary care provider. So again, I'm unfortunately not sitting here with a great announcement of no symptoms testing in our area, but it does exist. I'm hopeful that means it's coming online here soon, and you still can get tested if you do have symptoms. I extended the emergency declaration through, Controller Murray is looking to sign the emergency declaration extension again. It'll be the 4th extension through June 8th. Currently, it ends this Friday. June 8th is the date that the county has, and as we talked with Chief Graziano, we want to match the county in what we're doing there at this point. Continue to be in touch with the Department of Health about measures they're taking, especially with their nursing homes. It's a real challenge, as you all know. I'm sorry, just trying to find one other piece of information for you all. Okay, so the nursing homes remain a real challenge, and that's we don't have all of the data that we need, like we've been talking about, and Department of Health knows that. Our state legislators certainly know that we need more data, but the nursing homes are representative of a large portion of the deaths that we're seeing, and that's remains difficult, remains hard to navigate. We continue to help them with PPE, and other pieces. The PPE piece is getting better. That more of that has come online broadly in the state, in the country, in the last weeks. But that remains a challenge, and we're in touch with those nursing homes. Department of Health is certainly in touch with them, and the hospitals as well. Okay. So the Scranton pools, unfortunately, will not be open this season. We touched on that on Friday, and it's really hard to make those announcements. I think looking back on this, the parks and activities announcements are the hardest. It's just awful, right? It's awful. So those are not going to be open, including at Weston Field. The indoor pool it's agnostic to indoor, outdoor. All of the Scranton pools will not be open. So we are looking at other activities that we can have in our parks this summer for kids and families to be able to do things without kind of breaking that 6-foot rule. Certainly we'll be encouraging people to wear masks, and please don't go to the parks if you are sick or recently exposed to COVID-19, and don't participate in team activities, but please do wear a mask. This goes broadly for everyone. I think masks are part of the new normal, and we just got to make them cool, and it's just got to be the thing. So please wear a mask. If you need masks, I just got a call again last night. There's somebody that's been making a lot. They're happy to contribute their masks. So if you call us at 348-4101, we can match you up with a mask and get that for you. I know that there are some of the retail outlets that have them. I believe Garrity's is still selling those. So they're available. Do call us if you need one. If you need a few for your family, if you're not able to get out to get them or you can't afford it, we can certainly help there. But masks are the new normal, and they are required. Masks are required to go into retail outlets. So you do need to wear a mask if you are going into the store. If you are going into one of our fabulous businesses for takeout, please wear a mask. It is very hard if you are a business owner or an employee of one of those stores, and if the customer is not wearing a mask, that's really hard on those business owners. So please respect others by wearing the mask. I know they're uncomfortable, but it's what we're doing for each other. Election Day is coming up. It is May 12th. So I believe next Monday, May 18th is the deadline for registering to vote. Votespa.com. If you are not registered to vote, please register. I unfortunately will not be voting because I'm a registered independent, and we do not have open primaries in Pennsylvania. At some point in the future, we will do a town hall about elections, and we can go more into that. But register to vote by Monday, May 18th. Also, sign up to receive your mail-in ballot. So sign up for a mail-in ballot application. Go to votespa.com, ask for that mail-in ballot application. Then you will receive your ballot in the mail with a return envelope. You will be able to mail it back or drop it off at a drop box outside of the county building on Wyoming Avenue. You can also, and this is key, you can track your ballot status. So we are so lucky that last year Governor Wolf and the legislature agreed on some election reforms that enabled this. You now can go to votespa.com/mail ballot status. You'll be able to track it like you track a UPS package. That should give those of you who have never done this before some comfort that not only will you get your ballot, the ballot will get back to the elections office and your vote will count. If you have questions, you can call the Lackawanna County Elections Office at 963-6737. So on the census still going. Please help make sure that you and your family and your friends have done the census. 10 minutes. We are behind by anywhere between 6 to 8%. We are behind the state average. So please get on there, my2020census.gov or 844-330-2020. Unemployment remains a real sticking point. We're not seeing the movement there that we want to, but keep trying. File your claim at uc.pa.gov. If it's been 3 or more weeks and you've still not received your PIN, go to the form for the PIN request. Once approved for all this, you will receive that back pay. We continue to advocate for that to go more quickly, but it's tough on everyone, and we're collecting the number of questions that we get about it, and we can use that to show what the need is there for that. Other pieces of this, you can call the unemployment virtual assistant at 877-978-1295. You can live chat 1-888-313-7284, or you can email uchelp@pa.gov. Okay, so thankful to Scranton PD for another pasta dinner coming up on Sunday. So Sunday, May 17th from 1 p.m. until the food runs out at Railroad Avenue in Luzerne. It's 401 Railroad Avenue is the exact address. If you call 558-8304, like Chief Graziano said, the police department will be able to bring you your pasta to you if you're not able to leave your home. So big thanks to Scranton PD for that. And Friends of the Poor is having its weekly giveaway tomorrow, May 13th, 2:30 to 5:30. That's at the Career Technology Center on Rockwell Avenue, all the way up the hill, 3201 Rockwell Avenue. So we're so grateful for all the help that we're getting. On the broader side, rent assistance, food assistance, utilities assistance, you can dial 211 to get connected to those services. Volunteer opportunities are all posted. We still have great opportunities there. And I wanted to go through the mental health piece again. So this is really hard, and it's hard for all of us. So please never be afraid or ashamed to ask for help. Raise your hand and ask for help. Call the toll-free numbers. For example, the Department of Human Services has a COVID-19 support line. You can call 855-284-2494. If you are in crisis, if you know someone is in crisis, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is 800-273-8255. Another means is you can text TALK, T-A-L-K, to 741-741. That's free, anonymous, 24/7 crisis support. It's the crisis text line, and that is a really, really good resource. So never, if you need help, just ask for it. Everyone has to do that in some form right now. Every family, every household is being impacted by this. There's a couple more numbers I wanted to go through. Veteran Crisis Line, 1-800-273-TALK. So 1-800-273-8255. The Women's Resource Center, if you know somebody that you're worried about, if you yourself are a victim of abuse or know a child who might be a victim of abuse, the Women's Resource Center, 800-257-5765, or Lackawanna County, 346-4671. National Domestic Violence Hotline. So you can also do, if you can't get to the phone, there's an online chat at thehotline.org. Again, National Domestic Violence Hotline, thehotline.org, or 888-799-7233. So, possibly somebody you love, someone you know might be in trouble, and you can reach out on their behalf as well. And you can always, it's emergency 911, of course. Okay. Whew. Questions, the fun part. This is the fun part. All right, so let's see. Is there a way that Pennsylvanians can call to report a non-essential business that is open or not following rules properly? So call our Office of Code Enforcement, our inspection office. That's 348-4193. Again, 348-4193. As Chief Graziano said, we have only cited one business owner through this entire 2 months. So people really have been complying. We've done checks and we've talked to people, but really people have been complying, and we appreciate everybody. But if you have a question, 348-4193. Let's see. Holly asked about the pandemic unemployment assistant. Right. So those phone numbers, Holly, you should be able to get some answers there. I think that live chat is maybe a way to. I like those. I think those live chats can be really helpful. So try that. Let's see. And Rachel asked about indoor pools. Right. So city pools closed for the season includes indoor pools. We will take the time to make repairs to our pools, and there will be a little bit of cost savings from not buying the pool chemicals, unfortunately not employing the lifeguards. We will be looking at ways that we can potentially use those unexpended funds for alternative activities for families, so that we can be doing some fun stuff out there this summer. Don't want it to be a long summer for we want a long summer, but don't want it to feel like a long, hard summer for kids. We want to do whatever we can there. And it's hard. It's hard to stomach this stuff. So Joe is asking, can you give us an update on potential revenue declines? Okay. So potential revenue declines, we're looking at all of those pieces. As I mentioned, we're now finally getting data back in terms of tax collections from April. and March. So inputting that into our projections is very helpful. It's still a moving target, but that's helpful. So as you all know, we furloughed about 43 employees at the very beginning of this. And that's one piece of cost savings. There's projects that we are putting on hold. There's cost savings there. Things like closing the pools. There's, unfortunately, there are cost savings associated with that. Some of those things that, we'd like to use some of those funds for recreation, but we're looking at all of these things, and we'll be, working with City Council too on some of these solutions. I did want to announce that I will be taking a 5%. I'll be donating back 5% of my salary starting June 1. So that's something that I felt I should do. All the city employees who are furloughed, and the folks out there in the community who are also facing financial difficulties. So I'm doing that. The business administrator, Patrick Sheridan, also approached me and asked to do that. So he'll be doing that as well. So that's a small thing that I personally can do. And, we're all going to be making sacrifices, and it's really all hands on deck. We all have to do our part. Let me switch over to the other device and over to Facebook. Okay. So, cool. All right. Thank you, Brian Fallon, Director of Parks and Recreation. Saturday at noon until 3, there will be a lunch giveaway at Naog Park across from the pool. Wow, thank you. Scranton Municipal Rec Authority, awesome. So Saturday, noon to 3, Naog Park lunch giveaway. That is so cool. See, you got the ups and the downs, right? I'm feeling it's really hard to talk about some of these things, and then you get a lift. So Saturday noon to 3, Naog Park. We'll put that on the Facebook page as well. That's very, very cool. And again, folks, please wear your masks. Please don't litter. Use that social distance when you're out there on those trails. We love having our parks. Naog Park is, it's really the gem of the city. Please use it safely and respectfully. Okay. Let's see. Amy or Annie? Annie, maybe? What are your thoughts on youth sports such as mini football? It usually starts in July. So July seems early. This isn't, me on this. We're working with our partners across the city and different leaders to figure out some of these things and see what they're thinking. I won't answer for anyone else. I think we can all put it together that might be a tough timeline to meet. And Rachel, will the indoor pool be open at all this year? Rachel, let's just talk about the summer right now, and we'll assess indoor pools in the fall at a later date. Iris is asking, any word on the handicap stickers being mailed out? Okay, Megan, can you please make sure that we follow up on that piece, on that question on the handicap stickers? Patricia asks, could she have a yard sale? That is a great question. I have not thought about that. We will ask our folks at the governor's office to see what the guidelines are on that. I think that would really help on stuff that we're talking about retail on the sidewalks. I could see that adding to that plan about yard sales. So this is why we do this. This is perfect. Hadn't thought about that. And here we go. Patricia has a great question and something that we can add to that. So we'll put that in as a potential piece of the program that we come out with for expanding retail space. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, if there's any question, we are very much in a red zone. Cases still going up. Let me see, Megan, I think you posted the picture, oh shoot, I'm having trouble pulling it up. But we have a graphic about just showing you the ups and downs of the new cases every day, because you can see it. We can print that. We can put it up on the Facebook, but it's just really, really telling that we don't have a decline. The decline just isn't coming. We hope that it does, but it's just not there yet. Okay. All right. So couldn't post the picture in the comments, so we'll bring that up in a different way. All right. Sorry, just going through the comments. Thanks again for everybody that's out there and watching this. Okay. Okay, so someone's asking about the food drive and not having a way to get there. The Salvation Army will deliver to you, and Scranton PD for Sunday will deliver to you. Let me get you that Salvation Army. So you can call 344-9878, 344-9878. Apply over the phone to have Salvation Army deliver a box to you. I took some boxes around a couple weeks ago. It was great. It was nice to get out nice to get out of the house for a little while. But most important, it was fun to wave at some of our residents from afar, from the end of the driveway. Okay. Okay, masks. Yes, please, folks. The masks. It's being a good neighbor. I mean, we all wear pants when we go outside. I would say we should all wear masks too. It should just be part of the attire for the foreseeable future. And if you need a mask, we can match you up with some masks. 348-4101. And Denise usually answers the phone. She'll get you what you need. Okay. Okay. Krishna, thank you. Yeah, no mask, no entry. A lot of businesses are doing that. Oh, we should do is put up some, if we don't already, there are some free online things that you can print out that say that. So let's find those, please, team, and post those on the website and the Facebook page. That way it's ready to go. You could just grab it, press print, and put it up. No mask, no entry. And we just have to get it normal, just become normal. It just has to be, it's something that we do. And again, it's out of respect for each other. That's the bottom line. It's the beginning of this, we talked about, this isn't about ourselves. This is about our parents, our grandparents, our children. I got a text message from my dad last night in Oregon saying, kids are getting this, so please continue to be careful. So it's really real. The small business impact and the household impact is real. And all of this is so hard because there's no way to perfectly do this. There's no way I can sit here and say, small businesses, go ahead and open. I'd like to do that. I know that a lot of this doesn't make sense when you get down to the granular level. I know that there are retail parts of some of your businesses that should be open. It's not fair that Walmart is open and you're not. Please send those examples to us. Email us at Scranton311. We can take those to the governor's office and say, look, along with the yard sale thing, here are the examples of things people want to do. As we go into the next phase, or as you consider all these things, can we make some modifications here? Can we open up retail businesses, but not, maybe the dog groomer isn't open, but the retail part of that store is. I know that some of this doesn't make a lot of sense, but people really are still dying. We don't know a lot about this virus. I mean, as we talk about antibody testing, for example, I don't think they have antibody testing yet that really works. They don't know what they're looking for yet. This virus has only been in the world for maybe 6 months. So we're still figuring this out. And at the beginning, I got a lot of advice that you're never going to be wrong if you put public health first. And we just have to go forward with that. And then it's our job also to implement the programs, waive the fees for code enforcement, do the smaller things that we can do to make it easier for us to open up businesses and get businesses the aid they need to survive, to be able to bring those employees back, open up, and have a livelihood again. So we're working really hard on those pieces, those small business pieces, and all of your ideas are really, really helpful. I keep thinking about Patricia and the yard sale. I hadn't thought about it. We're going so fast. We're moving so fast. We have these ideas for which streets we could close this summer. How are we going to do this? Chief Graziano, Chief Lucas, Tom, and everybody, we're all working on it. But we can't think of everything. So that's why this communication is so important, and we truly appreciate it. Let's see. Okay. All right. And we'll continue to, let's make sure I don't have any more comments. We're going to continue to have, more lobbying for testing and more lobbying for tracing, more lobbying for that data. Don't know when the data is coming. Testing sounds like we're going to get more testing soon. That's very exciting. I'm hoping that just like PPP, where it was kind of, or the PPE, the protective equipment was tough, and then now it's gotten better. Hopefully it's same with testing. We ramp up quickly and are able to do more. We all know that we need more testing. We all need to know if we're in an environment where, hopefully, if you've had it before, you can go out and you could be somebody that's working in some way on the front lines to help others. So if there's anything else, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Let me just think through. We've got the small business piece I wanted to tell you guys about, and that the summer program. I need to get out, and I would love to be able to walk downtown and see all of you. So I'm really hoping that we can do that soon. And masks, I think masks are a huge piece of us being able to do this. We'll continue to update you as best that we can. We'll continue to take your ideas and your thoughts. We'll get that small business survey out today, and we appreciate you guys so much. I think that's a big thing. The city does have a couple announcements coming out later today. So we'll release those in a bit. And in the meantime, just know that we're here for you. We're thinking of you and your families and how we can better serve our community. So all your thoughts are welcome. All your stories are welcome. I would say that's the piece I'm going to end on, is your stories matter. Sending us stories. We'll be sending a letter out. Don't want to get ahead of myself, but we're really lobbying. I'm lobbying alongside other mayors in the state, and most mayors in the state are really lobbying, but we have an effort that we're doing together to lobby the federal lawmakers to make sure we get state and local funding in that next relief package. So that's the effort I'm turning to after this call for a few minutes. It's really, really important that we have stories to tell. So the U.S. Conference of Mayors released last night a COVID relief tracker. Scranton's in there talking about the furloughs that we furloughed on March 17th. It is almost 2 months that 43 of our employees have been furloughed. It was awful. It remains awful. It's out there in the world that this is something that we had to do alongside hundreds of other mayors and their stories of what the sacrifices that their employees in their cities are making. So we're not alone. We are in no way alone. I want you all to know that. And again, your stories matter. Your stories are things I can tell our legislators, our congressional delegation. Your stories are stories I can tell the U.S. Conference of Mayors and share with mayors all over the country. So, we all think in stories. We all think stories are what hit our hearts. And there's data. We always make decisions based on data. But I think that we understand the importance of decisions because of stories. So tell us your stories. Email the Scranton 311 email. And so scranton311@scrantonpa.gov, 348-4101 is the phone number. Thank you all for tuning in as you do. We'll be back on Friday. We'll be back on Friday at noon. We're going to have Josh Mast from Posh to talk about his story. He and Paul at Posh tell their story about being small business owners in this time. So thank you all, and have a good afternoon. Try to enjoy the sunshine in a safe way, wearing a mask, and we'll touch base in a few days. Thanks.